And we're back.
Hello.
Are we?
Jeez, little bit. That glass, by the way, did have bleach in it. That was fucking disgusting. I could have killed
Really?
myself. Yeah, horrible. I had a glass of
That's how
water.
my mum killed the duck, you know.
The duck?
Did I ever tell you this
You-
story?
No.
No.
I'll open with a little anecdote. So apparently, before I was born, we had a pet duck
Mm-hmm.
called Daffy, and
Of course.
there's a conspiracy that I've created in my head. Because my mum never liked it because it is a duck. It was a pain in the ass. Lived in the back garden, and she was cleaning its bowl, like was to leave water out for it or something. I don't know, or foods or whatever. And she left bleach in the bowl and left it outside, like while she did something before, like to kind of like let the bleach settle a bit before cleaning it out. With the duck outside, so the duck came over and
Wait.
drank the bleach water and died.
Oh my god.
So I like I've always got a conspiracy that my mum did it on purpose to end the duck's life.
I mean, that'd be the most inconspicuous way of
it's not
killing a
fair.
pet, wouldn't it? Like, oh no, I
Yeah.
left hazardous material in its bowl. It died. Like,
I believe it I believe it, but my mum's just like too.
no, your
innocent, I
mum's
think.
too sweet. Your mum's too sweet to like
Yeah.
kill an animal. I think. Ah, lovely Gail. Should we get Gail on the podcast one time?
She get Gail on.
Let's talk
She
about.
won't have a clue. I bet you 10 she doesn't know what a podcast is.
Getting involved.
What are
Right.
the voices?
We've got-
Gail is going to download.
Do you remember, Dan, when you like moved back home for the summer? I think it was last year, and I was on the headset with you for PS4, and she like came in the room. She was like, oh yeah, just recently, and she was like, did you say something? And you were like, no, I'm talking to
It's
Paul. And she was like, where is he? Like, he's on the headset.
phone.
You talking to him on that on the
She was
PlayStation?
like,
She
how are
couldn't
you?
believe it.
I was like, the headphones in the controller, which is hooked up to the PlayStation. She went, oh no, like,
Oh, no.
that's weird.
Oh, so funny. But yeah, we've got a few topics we can talk about here. Should we start
Yeah.
with? I put it like I've underlined it at the top. Yooka Laylee. Like,
Underlined. Yeah.
okay, so if you've been living under a rock for the past
Like me.
for the past day, like Richard. Richard
Mm,
lives in a rock.
Like me. Under the sea. My name's Patrick,
Yeah.
actually.
Ukulele. How would you describe? Well, it's a platformer done by
Yeah.
Platonic Games. That's
Rare.
the developers in it. People basically
At least
Platonic.
people from previously from.
Yeah, yeah. Platonic Games basically used to help Rare out the work on Banjo Kazooie and Donkey Kong Country. They're only a small. Like, I was watching the tour of like the studio, and it's literally like just one little room, like no bigger than like a school classroom, and on the door it's
Yeah.
like got a paper sign saying like Platonic. Like it's so
Mhm.
fucking like you wouldn't think it was a big company, and they're not. They're only an indie development company, but they've got 100 years of game development experience, like accumulated between them. Added up, fucking hell, excuse me, I'll keep burping. The put on Kickstarter yesterday the spiritual successor to Banjo Kazooie. As you, like, if you follow the gaming community, Banjo Kazooie.
Well, this is what I'm confused
the
about.
biggest
Spiritual
platformers of all time.
successor.
Yeah,
Does that mean it's like set in the same world as Banjo Kazooie, where there's another dynamic duo of platforming
Yeah.
heroes, or
mean,
what? Like,
it would
or
seem
does it just
that way,
mean
but
it's like Banjo
I
Kazooie,
think
just with new
I think it's the
characters?
latter. Yeah, I think it's just to tickle that
Yooka
little
Laylee.
Banjo Kazooie like space in your heart.
Spiritual
But
success.
this is the thing.
Mm.
So I'd say for the past 5 to 8 years, Banjo Kazooie's become like this big thing. Obviously, it was a big thing when it released. Whatever, you still got it. Mine's on my shelf. Like let me N64. You can't see it. The chairs there, but I kind of feel like there was a cult following for Banjo Kazooie, where
Yeah,
everyone's because like I much prefer Mario 64 over Banjo Kazooie. I know it's hard to compare them, but they are basically platformers in essence. Like I was always more
Yeah.
of a fan of Mario 64 than I was Banjo Kazooie. But it's kind of amassed this cult following where everyone's like, oh, we need. Obviously, there was Banjo Tooie as well, the sequel.
Mhm.
And then it kind of just got left in
I-
there. And obviously, it amassed fans because there's still people asking for Banjo Kazooie 3, which is like everyone thought we were gonna get. But then they've came out with this, and it's weird the amount of support they've been getting. So I'm just gonna read the statistics. So it went up on Kickstarter yesterday. Within 4 hours, they'd reached the goal. The goal was 175k. This is pounds. They're a British company, so 175k was the goal. In 24 hours, they raised £1 million. A full million. Like, there's that many people who want this game, and to be honest, I've been 31,000. Well, I checked these stats before. Actually, this was before we started the podcast. This 31,000 backers. There's 45 days left to go. Like 46 was the goal. What, the Kickstarter? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still 45 days left. It's 632% funded already after a day. Like, where were these people sitting waiting for this Banjo-Kazooie? It was like a secret community just waiting. Like, where did how?
It's just time.
You know what I mean? Like, it didn't even have to, like, usually like a Kickstarter, like, it'll get released or whatever, then it'll sit idle for like a week or so, and then maybe like a news company will pick it up, like an independent news company, and it'll start gathering traction, and then slowly money starts coming in, and eventually the project will be backed. This was a day. They released it like in a day, and they raised $1 million.
Less than a day.
1 million nids. 1 million nids.
1 million.
For anyone who isn't discussing nids,
Did Double Fine Adventure even raise the money that quickly? I know it raised $1 million like pretty quick.
This must have been,
and they're like a good. It's released several these like the reputable games. Yeah.
But the thing is, obviously I've heard of Rare, but Playtonic Games never heard, like, as a standalone team, never heard of them before. And reading into them, obviously they worked on Donkey Kong Country.
Are they British then?
They are British, yeah.
Are they all British?
Yeah. I'm not sure where the studio is based, like, but literally the smallest studio. And, like, it's just so mad, like, how all this, like, support.
Are you guys backing it?
I'm not backing it. Came literally out of nowhere to me, like.
You backed it?
Just all of a sudden, big news.
Yeah.
There's a Banjo-Kazooie successor coming along. Literally.
And the thing is, like, it sounds mean and cynical, but it's not. It's just kind of because I'm sick of hearing people asking for Banjo 3. I hope this buries, like, Banjo-Kazooie. I hope this just, like, sets everyone level. Do you know what I mean? You'll still get people asking for Banjo 3. I don't know if it's going to
make it worse.
It might do, yeah.
Do the opposite.
To be honest, like, I was looking at it and I was like, okay, it's interesting that they're actually, like, trying to reinvent the platformer in a way. They're trying to bring back that era of, like, I wouldn't say it was golden platformer because it was definitely it was definitely hard. It was a tough era for platform with the controls and whatnot. But I understand them bringing it to, like, modern mechanics. But, like, the character design's so bland, don't you think? Like,
I thought
it does feel like an indie game.
I mean, they've got £1 million.
Yeah, they've got £1 million now, so hopefully they can bring in some character designers or maybe rework.
Because looking at Banjo-Kazooie, like, they kind of, I don't know what it is, if it's the colours or what, they kind of seem like two separate animals or characters or whatever. Looking at Yooka Laylee, it's like they look too similar and too croc to me. Like,
like a bear
there's
and a bird.
Not characteristic about them to me. Like,
a bear and a bird.
Like, which one?
Pretty common.
I don't know if it's the Yooka Laylee. Looking at Banjo-Kazooie, like, again, I don't know if it's like the colours or something, but if I see them, like, I'll recognise them. Whereas
obviously it's hard.
Or maybe it's just because I've known them for years, but.
Well, he's saying that
it's obviously hard. It's harder to design like an iconic character now because of how.
Like how many, the number.
Not even how many, just like
how. Well, there is, and like how many of them are good.
Once you create something iconic, that instantly gets compared to everything. So, like, Yooka Laylee isn't iconic because it doesn't look like this. It doesn't look like Banjo-Kazooie. It doesn't look like Mario. It doesn't look like Sonic. It's so hard to create. It's the same with Knack. Like when Sony tried to create Knack, it's supposed to be like the new Crash Bandicoot, but it's just not a memorable character. It's hard to make a memorable character. There isn't a based off a real model, I think. Especially a cartoon character for, like, the lead role. I mean, looks interesting, but a chameleon and a bat such a weird combination. It's gonna be weird to see
So
what
is
they
a-
do with that.
So there's a bear and a bird, I guess, though.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like that goes quite well because you've got like the big
The same they're like the same habitat,
yeah,
aren't they?
yeah, but
Like a chameleon and a bat
it's
don't
just
really.
so weird, like two weird
Unless
animals,
a
like a
chameleon
bear,
wanders into
common
a
animal,
cave.
bird, common animal, but chameleon and a bat
guess
just
so.
doesn't. I don't know.
If you run into a bear, you might see a bird
Just
go over.
very,
But
just felt very, very bland.
if you run into a chameleon, you'd be
You're
like, "Where's
definitely
the
not gonna
bat?"
see a bat, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
gonna-
maybe they're trying to set something new. Like,
Well, they are, well,
it's
I-
only a game, so they could do whatever they fuck
I
they
can't say it's
want.
only a game. We're here to talk about
It's
it
only a game.
analytically. We can't just round it off like that. It's only a game.
I'm
Well, it's
actually,
only a
quite
game.
looking forward to
I'm
playing
looking
it.
forward. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do
Like-
with the million now. I hope they don't just take it as an excuse.
Well,
to
they
the-
have
Devil's
some-
advocate a bit, because I
Some
know
millions.
again going back to I know it's an adventure game, but going back to Double Fine
Well,
Adventure,
let's
like
see.
even after they raised more money than what they originally asked for, they raised loads, and then they went and released like half the game, and then asked for more money, which it pissed a lot of people off. And I know they were like, I just know that, or I don't know, but I strongly feel
Well,
that they won't do
there's-
something like that. But you know, shit's gone tits up
Local-
before.
Local multiplayer, so I'm
I
gonna.
just don't
I'm gonna
want
get it. There's multiplayer in the game, dude.
Richard's in.
I'm gonna fucking wreck that shit.
Richard's soul. Where it's just where
There's an N64 shaded mode though. That's what they
I'm
said. That's what
interested.
they
I'm
said they're gonna
interested
be.
to see, like, if they do actually reinvent the wheel when it comes to platform, because this could tickle a lot of people's fancies. I think, especially people who grew up with the N64 and now have kids or younger. You know what I mean? Because it appeals. Obviously, it's
the thing now,
appealing
isn't
to
it?
kids.
People
Yeah.
with gamers with kids.
That seems like the audience base. But what game was it the other day that someone was talking
I
about?
can't think of a platformer, like a new platformer
That's what I
that's
mean.
been out.
Like a
Really,
good one.
that's not indie at least.
Mm. It's tough, but if they do reinvent it and bring something new to the table, it might spark. And
It's always a shooter. It might have platforming elements in it, but
Mm.
not a platform.
And it's always 2D. Like, this is a 3D world.
Apart from Mario.
Like a lot of indie games are platformers now. Have quote unquote Metroidvania, where it's like
They're just
just a big
purposely
2D
hard.
map, and it's just like go left, go right, different area. It's like I don't know.
There's-
Or this is
I
like
find.
a new 3D world, like platformer.
Hmm. Yeah.
I miss games like that. Like PS2 was probably my
Same,
favorite era
bro.
for 3D platformers. I was just yesterday talking.
I really like Jack and Daxter.
Yeah, Jack and Daxter's good. Jack and
I
Daxter's
liked.
really
I
good
mean, it was.
platformer.
I think it was flawed in quite a few ways, but I still enjoy playing it.
The thing is, like,
The first one.
a lot of people overshadow Jack and Daxter with Crash Bandicoot. I don't think you can compare them because
That's
a lot of people forget that Crash Bandicoot, it was a platformer, but it's like you get one road to run down and you've got it, and then sometimes you'd switch the perspective and you go sideways or whatever. Like Jack and Daxter was an open world game. You could go wherever you want in the respective map until you get all the, what were they called? The egg things.
there's
What were they called?
the
Power something. Power cells, and it goes dun.
something like that, yeah,
Whenever you get them.
like
And
do
you-
like the
and
moonwalk or whatever.
Yeah, and then you go to like a new area that you can explore 3D like. But
Well,
yeah.
like, and then when the second one came along, they just thought, nah, fuck this. We're gonna take it into a bit more of a Conker's direction.
Mm.
Let's like make them swear and make it a bit darker. You can go
Darker,
into Jack and be dark, and let's let Jack have a voice now. And then they gave him.
That was
yeah,
mad,
they made him
wasn't it,
talk.
when they
He
gave
doesn't
him a
talk in
voice?
the first
No,
one.
he doesn't. He's muted.
Yeah.
He's a mute character.
Yeah.
I like mute characters.
What's game?
Can we talk
So,
about
yeah,
mute
same.
characters next week? Like
Yeah.
protagonists that don't talk
Favorite. Yeah.
and why they do it.
Oh, favorite.
But yeah.
They've always got a companion, haven't they?
Mm.
To
I mean,
talk for them.
Just that.
Do they?
Just
Nah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, oh yeah, they have actually. Yeah. Well, you have to because I kind of feel like
Link's not mute.
silent protagonist. What Link? Are you messing?
He goes, yeah.
I'm,
still
I'm gonna use
noise.
this I'm gonna use this as an excuse to like edit the best 404 page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the continuous cartoon loop. I'm gonna put that on for the YouTube. But what was we saying? Oh yeah, mute characters. It's kind of because like it's supposed to put you, like, take Link for example. Link is supposed to be, he represents you as an adventurer. Like, you're supposed to be in the game. He's your Link to the game, if you will. So I feel like if you voice a protagonist, you're giving them personality, aren't you? If you have someone who's mute, then you can project your own personality onto them, and it's just the actions that represent who you play as, and you are representing his actions because you're controlling the character. Which, I mean, I have no problem with mute characters. A lot of people like hate mute characters.
Oh, I love it.
I
I
think
love
it's alright.
it. Yeah.
That's
I
why
mean,
they,
Hero in Dragon Quest,
Mhm.
he's mute. Your
Your
undead character in Dark Souls is mute.
your
No,
character in
you
Final
speak to
Fantasy
NPCs,
14
just
who like
NPCs,
just
so-
speaks in emotes.
Yeah.
So it's like
I love this comes
like-
up.
it's like it's like okay, we've got to do this super secret mission. It's got to do this. You've got to do this. Collect this. Are you sure you can handle it? It's like you've just slayed 5 mini bosses, a final dungeon boss. You've slayed the primal. It's like complete.
Yeah, my mind goes.
Like, it's just
Laughs,
it's so
like-
funny. And then like you go into the overworld and they start doing the
Yeah.
the dance. Yeah. Or the Mandeville.
So, guys, that's the end of our
Come on,
podcast
Will.
with those two buffoons
Oh,
dancing.
yeah.
No, it's not.
Someone take that and make
Jesus
it get out of it. Let's move on. What do you want to talk about next? We've got. We go into mods.
But before we move on, I am definitely getting Senor Sabatenda tattooed on my arm.
You've said it now.
It's gonna get him like there or something. Like,
That'd be such a great tattoo.
yeah.
But,
It's funny one.
yeah. Last week we
Yeah.
spoke a little bit about mods. Well, half-assed talk about mods. None of us knew what we were
Yeah.
talking about because no one read the
Yeah.
article properly. But so we were speaking about mods becoming pay to use.
Well,
being sold on Steam.
Throw it on Steam, yeah.
And there was obviously a crazy backlash. Like there was people creating protest mods for Skyrim that you could download. So like there was a mod that
Really?
you could download, and like it was the most downloaded mod of like the week. And it was just it
Yeah.
replaces it's a weapon, and it's just like a little picketed like sign that says keep mods free. So it was like a weapon, and it was just like a protest sign, and people were like uploading videos of them like running around with it. And but Valve took it down.
No, Valve took it down.
They took
Yeah.
it down
Well, I think, you know why that they took it down?
because there was such a huge backlash.
Not just the backlash. Like, they were all for it, or Steam, but they made a petition. Like,
Oh,
the
did they
people,
make an actual petition?
they made an actual petition, and like
So
they got
stupid. Like, why do
no.
they have to do everything that's so
And they
official?
put
Like,
it
if you
down.
can see people kicking off, like,
no, but it can. Most things can have like a bad start, like, but then work out event in the end. Like, they're not gonna learn if they take like, oh shit, this had a bad backlash, and like we're gonna take it down straight away. No, they keep it going, and like,
well, now
like
what they're
obviously
saying
they'll
now
smooth
is
it all out. But since they put the petition up, now they have to bring it down. They've made it official, so they have to.
but
Like, I
they're-
would have
they're not,
preferred
they're
them
not,
to
they're
keep
not
it up
like
and made.
they're not removing it completely. They're still doing pay what you want, so you can actually donate to the modders now. Which is kind of good because I was
Like-
listening to the
Yeah.
Total Biscuit podcast before, and Gopher was on Gopher Vids, who actually worked on Skyrim and Fallout mods, and he was saying that he'd love to have had a career in making mods because it's what he loved to do, but obviously, you know, he got old, he's a bit old, like, and he has to put food on the table, he has to have a job and stuff like that, and obviously just making mods doesn't cut it. And he was like, there is definitely potential to make money off mods, but only ones that add actual value. Like, you couldn't just have people making like shitty little like remaps and retextures and stuff like that and then making money off it, because it doesn't actually add value, it just creates a whole lot of shit. So he was suggesting maybe you buy a license from Bethesda and Valve, and then that entitles you to that. That's like your way of securing, like, that's your way of promising them that you're going to make quality content that actually adds value. So he was suggesting like maybe pay like a one-off fee of like £500 or $500 or whatever, and then
Well, wouldn't you be buying the license then? That's what
but
essentially.
then he was saying like, and then the modders should get like 90% rather than 25, because then they've bought the
Yes, so-
license and then they're making money, but they've already paid the initial fee to Bethesda. Like, I mean, it should be free anyway. Modding should be free. Like, it's just fun.
Yeah, it should.
It should be free. That's why there was such a backlash. No one should have to pay for mods.
You should only pay for gaming. Like, again, I know we touched on it last week, and I won't go into it. But you know, when we're talking about like DLC and buying like different skins and hats and like aesthetics,
like that's just programming. Like
it shouldn't. You shouldn't.
It should be free. It should be free. It should be free.
Or it should be either unlockable or free. Do you know what I mean? They could. I don't know. Yeah, it should be free. Should only pay for more gameplay ads. I reckon.
Stuff that actually adds value, like
Yeah.
just having a skin on
Expansion
on
or-
clothing, it just doesn't. Just
No.
I never pay for skins or anything like that. Like it's ridiculous. But maybe
I mean,
I just don't see it. Like I imagine a lot of younger people.
It's
Like
Call of
baited
Duty.
into
It's your
it.
life. Like,
A lot of younger
Or-
like
or I suppose if you get paid to, like, if you're on YouTube or whatever, and you get paid to play like COD or FIFA or something, you know, and
Wait, you mean professionally or paid by YouTube?
either or. Like, you
Well,
know,
I think it's more for younger people. Like my younger brother, when
it's just fun, innit?
Black Ops 2, I think it was, when they started introducing all like the Snoop Dogg pack and all shit like that. Like he'd spend a lot of money on skins just to like run around with, like bacon, like the bacon skin and shit like that, like the weeds
On
the weed
guns?
skin. Yeah, like it was like a customizable
Seriously?
camo. Yeah.
No, it
And
should be
he
free.
bought so many of them, and it's like 160 for like each thing, and it's like you can only use one at a time. So what, you know what I mean? Like it's just I don't like it at all. But that's just my standpoint. Obviously,
We already talked about this.
we
Like
have already talked about
paying for skins
Yeah.
is absolutely fine because even if it's like if they just literally change the color blue and like, here, buy it for £4, like that's all optional, that's fine. But anything that
It is optional. I suppose.
withholds the
I suppose
game,
if you're willing to pay, then that's fine. But
Exactly.
I think it should be free. Like,
Sure,
you shouldn't
I agree
like
as well. You shouldn't have to pay
Well,
for it.
shouldn't
for,
have an
like-
option. It should just be free.
oh, it shouldn't. That's but
Like,
like some
I
things,
understand from
like,
a business
people are
point
putting-
of view, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
but
because
that's the
obviously
thing.
people pay
We're in a
for it.
creative we're in a
That's
creative industry where we shouldn't be focused on money. We should just be focused on providing a better experience for people.
Yeah.
But obviously, Call of Duty, like the behemoths, aren't gonna think like that. I mean,
Well, yeah,
to be honest,
they're all large
obviously I can't speak for like games design because obviously I'm not in the industry and I don't mod or anything like that. But I'm pretty sure that it would take less than a day to change the color of like clothes. Like it's not worth one.
Yeah, but that's still, it'll take a day, but it's still, that guy has to get paid for his day, that how many hours he worked on it. He's still getting paid money, so he does
let's
need.
just forget about all those games that they've actually sold, like all that.
Yeah,
money.
but no, that's still his job. He's still getting paid to do that, and like they could, yeah, thanks for making the skin for us.
Yeah,
We're
but
gonna
it's not
give
like
it for free.
it's not like he's not gonna
Well-
get paid. They're still gonna pay him. They just make the money back. It's
Still
not
gonna
like
pay him.
it's not like
Yeah,
all
but
right,
they're not
Jeff,
gonna get
you did
money,
the
they're
skin.
gonna-
Now we just wait for the sale so you can get paid. Like, oh no,
Yeah,
only
clearly.
5 people have bought it, so we can't pay yet. Like, obviously he still gets paid for it. It doesn't work on a system of
Yeah,
just bringing
I
it
know.
in. Like,
Of course, I know.
it should be.
Well,
it
that'll
should be
be
free.
interesting whether it did like, it's all kind of like what is it? Phone salesman, like they got, what is it called?
Commission.
They get paid for how many phones they sell. What's it
Commission.
called? No.
Commission.
Commission.
Commission, yeah. I'm not commission. That'd be so. What?
It's like, oh, commission. No, that's not it. Commission.
What's
No, what's it called? Commission. Oh, yeah, that's a commission.
Yeah, that's it.
Wait, did I say commission right? How many times did I say commission then?
3 times I said it, and you said
I?
no. You said, oh, right, yeah, commission.
They work on commission. That'd be so interesting.
No, not commission. You know, you
That'd
get
be- yeah,
paid
that
for
would be
every
funny.
phone you sell. Commission. Yeah, commission.
It would be funny though, actually. Like, can you imagine them trying to sell like Call of Duty skins? Like, hey, do you enjoy Call of Duty? You enjoy it more
Yeah.
with my bacon skin, right? Hey, let me just take you a seat here. Would you like a cup of coffee? Like, trying to sell them the DLC. Like, I'm fine, thank you. I just come to look at the new DLC. Like, trying to sell them on commission. It's and then like. Imagine someone like liberal like just whispering, he's on commission, you know, he doesn't actually want to sell you it. He works for commission. Well, that's a different. But yeah, the other reason I put mods on the list is because of the GTA mods and the whale. We all watched the video, right? The whale, like going nuts, killing everyone, and being dropped in the world. And then, see, this is the problem I have with it. We all knew GTA 5 was gonna get modded to shit when it come to the when it come to the PC. It was like all people were speaking about. It was like, oh, we can't wait to mod it and stuff like that. Obviously, like there was people getting prepped for it. So, of course, it came out. Of course, there was mods. There was motorbikes like with cows. Like you could ride a cow, but it was a motorbike and all stupid shit like that. I'm not really into modding. Like, so.
I can understand. I understand why. Like it is funny.
It is funny.
I mean,
so
I've watched video here and there if I see something that tickles me fancy, and I'm bored on YouTube of someone doing mods. I don't normally see it on a Lab Bible. I normally just YouTube recommended, really. Yeah. If I'm like looking up videos on the game.
So there was a mod that someone had done where you can just drop a whale just randomly into the world, and it just causes chaos and whatever. And then Rockstar retaliated by patching the system. What's it called? Anyway, it's modern software for GTA 5. Anyway, they released a patch which blocks it, so it's like you've basically just cut off the majority of your audience right there. It's people who just want to have fun on the game. Like they're doing it all wrong, I think. I saw a quote. Was it a quote? It was just kind of someone voicing their opinion. It was like, no matter how many patches you release for a game, you're not gonna stop the modern community. Like it's just too big, and like you're not gonna. It's literally like trying to ban someone for use skateboarding as an analogy. Like if you try and stop someone from skateboarding somewhere, they're just gonna fucking go and find somewhere else to skate. Like you're not gonna stop it like by patching your game, especially like. So they were saying like they should start doing what they did with GTA 4, which is because the main problem is they don't want people modding online on like ranked servers, and obviously because there's only one sort of server, you don't have a choice which server you go to on GTA. It's just like find the game, you get put in a server with people. So that's the problem they have, is people essentially cheating online. So like what they did with GTA 4 is they had a separate server which was unranked, which just allowed people to mod the shit and just mess about and shit like that. They're saying that's what we should introduce for GTA 5, but I don't know. If I had
have you guys heard of there's one car on GTA 5 that's like that's like ridiculously powerful,
so like overpowered. And rather than just like removing the car from the game, they made it so like if you go to that car online,
it's just because you can have it in the game in Singapore. Like it's only a multiplayer because like obviously people can't blow it up and shit. And there's like one way to get it, a very like specific route of things that you have to do. It takes like a very long time
to get as well.
Yeah, and like instead of it
working, like as soon as they open the door, the car just explodes and kills them. Like, it's such a. I hate the word troll as well. It's so like overused. I hate the word trolling someone, but it is just trolling the users. But can you imagine the fittest guy to like try that after it got patched? Like, oh, I'm gonna beat all my mates in a race. Like, gets it, blows up. He's like, what the fuck? And he just keeps trying it. But yeah,
he keeps trying. He doesn't realize, like, he sends an email to Rockstar. There's something wrong with your car. It just blows up.
Yeah, well played. Someone was saying, I can't remember who it was I was watching, but they were saying, do you reckon that's like actually trolling, or do you reckon it's actually just? Was it Dodger who was talking about it?
Yeah,
and it was like
she put so one of the new segments.
Yeah, maybe it was Dodger, and she was like. She was intrigued to see whether it was actually patching it and trying to remove it. Is it just easier to make the car explode? Like when someone opens the door, like is it much less hassle?
It probably would be easier to do it that way. To be fair, like rather than find the hole, you just like
patch it.
No,
but it's hardly patch.
You just like at the end of it, you just like block them at the end, kind of thing.
Happy-go-lucky gamers in the stream, by the way, guys, from last week, Carl. He says it was glitches off story mode, and also your stream keeps dropping. Oh, I didn't realise.
Keeps stopping.
I think it was. Maybe it's just Carl. It keeps stopping. No, it's yours fine. Yeah.
It's complete.
Like the numbers are a bit down. Like
the witch.
Dan's looks like a monster from
It's a bit behind.
No, not
Oh, Dan.
Whoa,
Mason.
what happened there?
Picture of Mason.
You turned to Mason.
And cam went off.
That's into Mason.
Oh, your cam's just.
Is it me licking Chris's face?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You're on the stream as well.
Your cam's like loading forever.
Is it still not
Oh,
loaded?
no, you're on. You're on. You good?
No, that's what he looks like. A circling dot.
Sick.
But yeah, as much as I disagree with mods in GTA, I feel like it's a big part of what the game is. Like, it's just a piss about, isn't it? Like, especially for younger people again. Like,
Games. Most games
Yeah.
allow modding in the games. Like
The thing about
at this point
GTA
now,
is
you
as
might
well.
as well
Sorry. Go on.
go on. No, go on. Like I was gonna say.
I
like,
was only
you
gonna
might
say-
as well have- Yeah. Sorry. Daniel,
he's like,
please.
no, go on. And then Richard was like, no, you go on. So anyway.
I think we
It's
both
like that
said so
episode of
anyway.
Full Lad,
At
yeah.
the same time, eh? I was only gonna say like the GTA is its big appeal to a younger audience because it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's not controversial, but you know, it's a higher rating. Like it almost as if they shouldn't really be playing it, but it's so ridiculous kind of thing.
The reason I think
It's
a
the
lot of
cool
young
thing
pe-
to play when you're a kid,
It
isn't it?
is, yeah. It's just like the freedom of it. I think the freedom to
Mhm.
just. It is kind of just do whatever you want in it. You can fly wherever you want. It's just like this giant sandbox game, but
Mhm.
well, quote unquote sandbox because the world's already like
Yes.
generated for you. But you can just do whatever you want. Especially like every GTA adds more features that you can do whatever you want in, and obviously the size of GTA 5. I mean, don't know. Maybe I'm just really cynical. I'm getting cynical with age. Like I do play games for fun,
Tell me about it.
but a lot of games for me.
Fun, you fucking casual. You play games for fun.
But for me,
Casual.
for me, a lot of games are like I play them for the story, and the
Yeah.
narrative, sorts of stuff like that. But I mean, I was playing COD 4 last night with my younger brother, just like reminiscing about it and stuff like that. And going back to that and playing the multiplayer, like I still kick ass at that game, and like I feel like that was my like era of competitive gaming. I feel like I've retired from like competitive gaming now. Like Richard tried to get me on Counter-Strike and it was just like I fucking suck at Counter-Strike. I just can't play with a keyboard and mouse because all my training
I
was done on
remember
a
the
PS3
days
pad.
Playing Call of Duty 4 with you on the PS3, and then them trying to do quick scope and fight against you. It's just like,
I used to be
My
playing COD 4, imagine it like a graph. Like COD 4 was like the peak, and then every Call of Duty I just slowly got winged off FPS. Like I played a lot of Battlefield 4. We did play a lot of Battlefield 4, and I did enjoy Battlefield 4.
we did.
But I got really winged off. Like I'm getting proper old. All I play now is the Zeldas and the Pokemans. But
And the Final
and
Fantasies.
the Final Fantasies, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'd say primarily I play the game for the story as well as the character developments. I love like training characters. That's why I love RPGs so much. I love creating a character and just training them, watching them go from level 1 to level whatever. But
Yeah, well,
My
that's
idea
you
of
and
competitive gaming. It's just the whole tournament on the SNES on Street Fighter 2 with sisters. Winner stays on.
oh, this is good.
Wednesdays.
Swear we-
Oh my
we
god.
need to get our Ryan on the podcast to talk about old games. I was thinking about I was watching the other one. I was just saying it'd be so funny to
Have an
get
old
on.
games episode.
Yeah, we could do a retro episode, but that'll be like I think we need that as like a special because that'll go on for hours.
Yeah.
That'll go on for so long.
I think I might sit that one out just because I'm not a big retro gamer. Sorry, guys.
Get out.
Get out. Just leave the
You
stream.
never told me this before.
Steve!
You lied on your application form. Right, we have an opening for Mr. Ho. No spoilers, we have an opening. If you're into retro games, just apply over give it the gunfingers at gmail.com.
You own my name.
Send your
as well.
Side.
CV over and all the games you ever completed and your trophy list and information. That's another reason I play games is just for the trophies. Like, I don't think anyone knows. I haven't. It's really
Well,
I haven't
these
publicly
two up here,
Yeah.
they both
Trophy
play
whores.
for trophies mostly.
Mm,
trophy whores.
well, yeah, I've got into the trophy game.
I'm
Since
so
about
happy
the
that
old
they've got someone else
PS4.
to get in the trophy game with, because like before it was just like, hey Richard,
It was
I
just
platinumed the game. He's like, I don't give a
Cool.
fuck. I don't give a shit.
yeah, pretty much. That is actually, I don't give a fuck. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
there.
I think
I don't really care
I've
for
got
trophies
6
at all.
platinum.
It's good to have some. 6, really good.
I think I've got 6.
It's probably higher than average.
Some of them are pure easy. I've got a bunch of 100% ones as well.
You have got the Rogue Legacy one though, which I am jealous of.
Yeah, that's me.
Pride, that one.
Bragging rights for anyone who gives a shit about trophy.
Which is no one. Me and you should just do a trophy podcast.
Oh.
Kick this asshole off.
No matter how hard this one was.
How did this go? We're so good at going onto tangents. We should just call ourselves like the Tangent Cast.
The no tangents. Where we only go on tangents.
No tangents. You just you have to talk that. You just know as soon as someone starts going no, back on track.
Yeah.
Well, we do need to get back on track though, because we're an hour and 40 minutes in. These podcasts fly by. Well, yeah. Should we move on to hatred?
Sure.
Hatred. Sure.
I completely forgot about this game until you mentioned it.
Bit of background on hatred. I remember seeing it. It must have been. It wasn't that long ago, was it? Last year when it got announced. Well, announced. They released the trailer for it, and it's like, if you haven't seen the hatred trailer, I recommend going and watching it. Before you listen to this bit, but it's basically a game where you just go out and you just commit genocide. Like, you play as like a metalhead. I really want to know his name and like some background on him, because as of yet he's just like, if you watch the trailers, he's just like, I fucking hate humanity. Everybody's got to pay for their fucking sins. It's like, shit, who pissed this guy off? Like, it'd be so like it's gonna be so good to have like a little backstory behind it. So like, he's loading, he's got like a gun and shit. He's like getting grenades on his belt and whatever. And it's just showing you footage, and you're just basically isometric view, and you just run around, just slaughtering innocent people. And at first I was like, oh, fair enough, quite brutal. But then it shows you like the executions, and it's like he fucking like grabs a woman and like just decks her, and he's just like starts cutting her. And then like there's like a police officer, and he just like stabs him in the dick, and he's just like over it. And it's just so brutal. And I remember seeing it and thinking, why? Like, this is gonna cause such an outrage. Like, why even do it? But then, after thinking about it, I was quite hyped for it. I was like, this will be a fun game, because like, obviously I'm a big fan of Hotline Miami, and I was like, it is essentially Hotline Miami, but with realistic graphics, and the fact that you're not killing innocent people. Hotline Miami is generally focused on killing mobsters and people who have wronged you, but again, it's the same formula, but visually it looks stunning. And the difference again with Hotline Miami and Hatred is the enemies seem a bit smarter in Hatred, so they actually seem like actual human. They actually act like human behavior. Like in Hotline Miami, it's like, okay, there's a room on my right and this guy going round in a square, so I know when to burst in, I know when to kill him, whatever. But if you watch the recent trailer for Hatred, you see like the SWAT team, and like they're flanking him and like coming in different doors, and it looks a bit dynamic. But here's another problem I have, is like people just getting offended with it. Like, why?
Well,
Like,
wait, what's your problem with them? You're angry at the people getting offended?
Because this is how projects get cancelled and get canned. Like, this game it was put on Greenlight on Steam, which is the system where you can vote for to get a Steam game produced. And when it was put up, Steam themselves, like, there was nothing to do with the public. Steam were like, oh, this breaches our like code of conduct or whatever. We're definitely not going to publish this sort of game. Like, looking into it and stuff like that. And it was like, why do we have guidelines on stuff like this? Like, you wouldn't do that in film. Like, if it was a film like that, it wouldn't be banned because it's seen as an artistic choice by the director or whatever. Why is it viewed as that? Because I think it's quite interesting. I think it's quite an interesting concept to play as someone who's so fucked up in the head that they just want to kill every other human. Like, don't you just want to find out the backstory and like really delve into it? And it's such an interesting perspective.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, does anyone know about
I feel like
them all?
well, that's the thing. We don't know anything about the main character in it yet, but I feel like everyone's too quick to jump on the this offends me bandwagon. It's like we live in such a culture of like
just attention.
It's like a fake outrage culture we live in. It's like, are you really offended by it, or are you just because it breaks a few moral boundaries and like, oh, it goes against like, it's politically correct, instantly just jump on it? Like, why not think about the artistic direction that the director's taking the game in? Like, I don't know, but
I mean,
I'm personally made up that it's been given a release date.
why some people would get offended. I
Well,
mean,
of course, yeah.
my mum saw someone playing it. Saw me playing it. She'd get
Gale
offended,
kick
but
off.
all she'd do is walk out the room and be like,
Mm.
"Why would you want to play something like that?" Like, because it's just funny, innit? Like, they're not real. Like, I'm not gonna like play this game and then suddenly have a revelation and be like, you know what? Everyone deserves to die.
Yeah.
Fucking and just
Well,
like get all of a
I don't
sudden
know.
Saying this to Richard
there's a
the other
gun
day,
there,
like,
you know, out of
when-
nowhere.
and we met up, it's gonna be like, watch how many people who get murdered after this game gets released. Watch how many people get blamed on that game. So like,
Reports say played hatred before
Yeah.
killed one person.
backed, backed, like on the bank account statement, pledged like $5 to hatred. Nah, you seen this fucking shit they pledged for? That's why I did it. Like, I fucking hate it. Like, I you know what? It's making me mad. I'm gonna go fucking kill someone.
Yeah.
But you never know what's in someone's state
That's
of
the-
mind.
that's the thing, though, like,
before
it's
and
like when-
all
it's
when
like
they're
when,
playing. They don't know.
When manhunt,
And, like people could be easily not manipulated, but like easily.
But that's not the
like,
game's fault. The game is just the stimuli in that case.
Yeah.
When Manhunt got
It's a
released, there was
stimuli.
a fella in Manchester who got like beat to death by his friend, right, with a baseball bat or something. And they're like, oh, he had Manhunt in his house. He was playing Manhunt and all
Oh,
shit
yeah.
like that, and he brutally murdered his mate or whatever, or his brother. And it's like, if someone's that fucked up in the head where that's gonna trigger something like that, like it was gonna trigger
Yeah,
anyway. Like it's just the stimuli. Like it's not like I can play a game and know it's a game and come away from it and
Yeah.
think, right, that's a game, that's a different world, that's its own separate entity to life. Like, but other people can't differentiate, and then that's why we have the ESRB rating system.
TRS.
It's because generally younger people like see role models in older games like this, but you're not gonna stop that. That's a different discussion altogether. It's like, I'm just sick of people jumping on like the hate train where it's like, oh, this game's instantly shouldn't be released because it breaks these rules. Like, we're never ever gonna see anything new unless we break boundaries. Like, I'm fine with it, completely fine with it. But
Same.
what do you think, Richard?
About which hatred?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it'll be really, really interesting to see it when it comes out, and just see how it comes along. But like, it's absolutely fine to have a game that's like just literally a person going around killing people. That's absolutely fine. Like half the people on fucking GTA does that anyway.
That's what they do.
Like obviously this is a bit more violent. Like in the trailer, you see him stab someone in the face, like literally
Yeah, in the
continuously.
eye, in the eyeball.
Like, and Paul, next time I see you, that's what I'm gonna do to you
Okay.
because of this game. Is this okay? Okay.
Who's that? There's someone. No. It's Richard.
Just my arm in your
coming
street
into
now.
my panel. So,
So,
but like,
is
go on, sorry.
is it
Go
like
on
the
after you.
actual aim-
After you.
bad.
Is that like the actual aim of the game then, just to kill as
The
many people
game.
as
The
you
aim of the
can?
game is to
Is it a
just.
point system or is it just a
Well, we
simulator?
don't know. We don't know.
There's
That's
no-
the thing. There's
Yeah.
levels. There's 7 levels to
Yeah.
it. We know that much, but we don't know if it's.
But the
gonna be
thing
like-
is, they could have not
I think it's
cancelled it, but
this, yeah.
they could have made that up and just do like, oh, have you heard this game was so bad it got cancelled? and like,
a
oh, but they're
PR,
coming
like
back
a PR
out.
stunt, yeah. No,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there was an official thing. If you go on the website, there's an official statement from
Yeah, but
Steam.
still, you can make it officially.
Mm.
Like, it was so bad, and
Yeah, I
like,
suppose it
no,
could be a PR stunt, but I mean,
no news is bad or
It's
whatever.
still got-
No
it's still
bad
got-
news.
the
is
end.
good.
still, even if they did
good.
fake it,
That's
it's
a
still
four.
got shock value. Like, if you showed someone who wasn't really into games, like, imagine showing that trailer to Gail. Like, she'd still be like, this should. If you said so, if you made her watch it and then was like, should this be made? She'd vote no.
Mhm.
Like, you've still got that shock factor there. Like, even if they were doing it to generate hype. Well, I don't know. I think people are too quick to jump on the controversy bandwagon. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, this
very
game,
much so.
this game offends
Well, like,
me because
I never,
it's got blood
I
in
never
it.
finish.
Yeah.
But I never finished my thing. Like I said, it's absolutely fine to be killing people, but then it's also absolutely fine to have other people.
You know, remember, you're not killing people. You're killing polygons.
No, but a game where the objective is
Yeah,
to kill
of course.
whatever
But
for
what's
some
the
reason.
reference
But it's
for?
fine to be against it. It's absolutely fine.
Well, of course, it's absolutely fine to be against anything, but when stuff's getting canned, like artistic decisions are being canned, because of
Yeah.
a few people are getting offended for no reason. Like, fair enough if someone
Well,
was
why
like,
would it be
someone's
cancelled?
family was murdered by someone, and fair enough to be offended by it. But if I'm like sat here and I'm just like, oh, look at this game, oh, that's a bit brutal. I don't like this. This offends me, I think. Like, you just can impede, like, respect the artistic decision.
Mhm.
But that's my thoughts on it. Anyway.
There's so many movies out there, controversial movies,
So
which are
many
worse.
movies.
So much
No one,
worse.
no
I
one
mean,
cares, do they? Nick
No.
Rich 22 says, "Hey, I agree. True. Thanks for agreeing, Nick Rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't be canning games like this because
um,
imagine if you wanted to make a game and you wanted to break some boundaries and you wanted to like be a bit
Yeah.
controversial and edgy. Like, well, saying that, yeah, I suppose it does create hype if you're doing stuff like that. Because just think how many people want to play it now. Now I'm going back on myself now.
yeah, I wasn't
because,
like really
well,
on
well.
it, but now kind of interested to play it.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna get it, but
PR
I might not
stuff,
get it,
again,
I just play it,
it's a conspiracy.
corporation.
It's a conspiracy. But yeah, well, like obviously because I'm a fan of Hotline Miami, it'll be interesting to play a game like that. But should we move on?
Yeah, sure.
We got
This is
on.
very seamless transactions.
Should we do one more Square Enix tech demo?
Ooh,
Square Enix.
yeah.
Did you watch it, Richard?
Sure.
I know Dan watched it.
Yeah, I did watch it, and we all watched it, didn't we?
Did we all
It's-
watch it?
Well, for
I was
those
in the
who
car.
haven't watched it, what are we talking about?
I'll put the annotation like on the video. Like if you're watching it now, like you're watching live, I recommend going and watching it. But it'll be up anyway.
But
so.
what? No, watching what?
interesting.
Tell them.
Oh shit! Of course, I didn't even say what it is. Basically, Square Enix released a tech
Go
demo
watch
on YouTube the other day, and it was literally, it wasn't a game. It was literally a tech demo. So it's called Chapter 0, The Witch, in
Witch,
brackets, Cry.
Awesome.
Like
Yeah.
they're always weird
Yeah.
with names.
The Witch,
Well-
Chapter 0, Cry, DirectX 12, tech demo.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I
Just
put
read-
the link in the
Just
chat
reading the
if
URL.
anyone's-
Just reading the URL. But yeah, so I'm probably gonna murder this description. So it starts off, it shows you a massive mountain with like a palace on top or whatever, and then it obviously cuts to a clip of a woman crying, and it's like, what the
It
fuck is
like,
this all
looks like
about?
an AMV,
It looks like a pre-render.
like a intro to a
Mhm.
trailer or something for a game or whatever.
Looks insanely good. So you're like, oh shit, this is pre-renders, and then the guy comes on and he's like, thanks for watching our tech demo. Just to let you know, this is all running real time off the GPU, and it's like,
Yeah.
what? Like, I can't do it justice of how real it looks. Like,
No.
I was doing some research into it. I was saying before, basically, crying is like the hardest human emotion to render, because basically when you're rendering skin tones, different areas of skin reflect different transparencies
Yeah.
of
yeah.
light. So like so some parts of your skin reflect more light than others, basically, and it's hard for something to render something that's so chaotic like that. Like, it's hard to measure. So that's why usually skin is often usually one shade and it's flat and whatever. So
Mm.
then on top of that, you've got skin, which is giving off like an oily texture because everyone's skin has like a microfilm of oil on it, obviously. So it's hard to render that on top of the light refractions already. And then you've got like the tears, which is another layer of rendering, which is water on top of the oil. So it's hard to get a texture that's rendering water, oil, and the refraction of light from skin all at the same time. And this, like, it looks like a real person. Like,
It is
it's the
absolutely
most insane
fantastic.
thing. But like,
For in-game.
yeah, and
footage
not
as well.
even a
It's just
pre-render.
blue
So
map.
basically, like, if you don't know what a pre-render is, like, a pre-render is where the GPU
pre-render.
the GPU has as much time as possible. It pre-renders every little scene. It takes longer. Usually cutscenes in Final Fantasy games pre-renders. That's why they look so different to the in-game cutscenes, because it has as long as they can leave it to pre-render the scene. So like, it doesn't have to render real time. So that's why in-game cutscenes look a bit, they're not as good, because
Okay.
the GPU is rendering
Well,
it
yeah,
in
in-game
real
cutscenes.
time
Mhm.
when you're playing the game. So this looks like a Final Fantasy cutscene, but it's real time. That's the one thing that blew me away. The way he was like, by the way, this is run real time. This is the GPU. I was just
Yeah,
I was waiting for I was waiting for the gasps from like the audience. Like everyone was so quiet. I was waiting for very effective. Oh.
No,
but like,
well, like when he like changes the sun, not like he moves the sun and the shadows just like.
He's like, okay, so
perfectly.
we're gonna mess about with the light now. We're gonna change the light rounds, and he moves the light, and all the shadows change, and all like, it's the most insane, and it got me hyped for no reason. Like, it was only a tech demo. It got me. I was like, yeah, this is sick. It's like, but there's no game. Like, there's no game in it. It's just it's just showing them what they're working on.
I've always said that like Square Enix always seem to have like to me anyway, like the best looking graphics in games. Like each next development, like in Final Fantasy, I've always looked and been like, oh my god, that's the shit. Like every time they release something, it's like it looks up a scale a bit. And when you sent me the video, I was like, I didn't know nothing about it. Literally jaw dropped. I had the phone in the car. I was like, jaw dropped. I had to watch it again when I got in on my laptop.
Unreal.
Yeah.
But it was running on 4. What is it?
Yeah, then you told me that.
GTX what? GTX, Richard, you might know.
Sorry?
It's NVIDIA GTX something.
Yeah,
like £4,000 GPUs.
Titan?
Like,
Titan X.
Is it the Titan X, yeah. It's running on 4
That's
of them.
the latest one. That is.
So it's
not
like,
not going to be... The thing is, what I was going to actually say is, like, how... Like, they can have, like, that amount of detail in a game, but, like, how many people will be able to run it until, like... Yeah. Unless there's going to be like
you're not going to see you're not going to see this shit on the PS4 anytime soon. Like I
don't think the PS4 can run that.
No,
like,
well,
that
definitely
type of
not. Definitely not. Like
not in game.
PS4 doesn't have the best hardware. Like that's why it's so cheap. That's why it's so cheap. Like a game's consoles obviously stripped down and made affordable for people to play. Like a PC.
Yeah.
It's just
PC's
outdated before you've built it.
Yeah, man.
My baby's out there. It's only one little thing as well. So like, as a guess,
that's like
if
one
that was
short clip.
Part of like an open world game, like
oh Jesus,
they're still gonna build all that. Do you know what I mean? This is only like one little scene.
Don't quote me, but
yeah,
I was watching the video. Doesn't the guy say that each hair, like he focuses on the hair, doesn't he?
Yeah,
hair's another big one, like where. It's just texture mapped because obviously there's so many different strands of the hair and stuff like that. But every like piece of hair is like an 8K by 8K polygon. Like that's fucking insane. Like some character models don't even have that much, and this is like each strand of hair. Like fuck.
Was it 8K by 8K? I thought you said 4.
It might be 8, might be 4. That's what I said. Don't quote me. But I'm sure it's 8.
Oh wait, no, I don't think it's his hair.
So you get the big anime swooshes and like
63 million
polygons. You do your research and like if the wind was blowing, how would each strand of hair like blow and like fall on? Obviously.
Yeah, wait.
Looks awesome.
It is 8K by 8K.
Is it 8K? Yeah.
That's like ridiculous. Like nobody at this moment.
Insane. Like it just it makes me think as well. Like, do you ever just wonder where like how Square end up publishing most games? Like. They just come out with so many games. Like it's like, oh, was that Square? Was it? Oh, like just like out of nowhere. Like it makes me wonder. Like, what goes on behind the scenes at Square? Like if they're doing all
this
shit.
Tesco before.
When
I was in Tesco before, I saw that Lords of the Fallen. That was Square Enix, wasn't it? Like I was looking at it like. I forgot about this game. Like it just kind of came out of nowhere. Not heard of anything about it, but
obviously everyone associates Square with Final Fantasy. That's like the big one.
Fantasy.
But it's like, what goes on behind closed doors at Square? They must have so many different teams. Just like,
didn't they work on the new the latest Tomb Raider as well?
Hitman Absolution. They worked on that.
Oh yeah, as well. Yeah.
It's just like, in fact, there's loads. They had a Steam sale recently, didn't they? With loads of thingy games, Square games. I'm just looking through my Steam library now, see if I've got any. But yeah, like what goes on behind? I'd love to like have a little tour of the where are they based? Square. I imagine they're based everywhere. Like,
I was wanted to like go to round the office like and see developers at work. For Square Enix. When I was a kid, like that was something I always wanted to do. Just be able to like look around.
But I mean, it's exciting to see what the
Big
again cutting back to E3. It's like we're just waiting to see what happens. Like it's gonna be the most exciting thing. Well,
what's going on? What is actually happening?
What's happening in the world of gaming? Well, I hope they do another one of them Game Awards as well, because E3 like once a year. I know obviously you've got like PAX and other stuff like that, and smaller cons, but that Game Awards, I felt like that was like. It was like Christmas hype. I felt it was before Christmas, right? It was like November.
Yeah,
it was like
so.
bridging us over until E3.
I was like 60-40 kind of split on it. Like, I like, while I enjoyed it, I kind of thought it's a bit of a gimmick. Like, not that many awards went on, and like I was like, Imagine Dragons, really. I was like, oh.
I have the same standpoints as.
Although I did enjoy it when they played with Koji Kondo. I have to admit.
Yeah, very.
I'm not a big Imagine Dragons fan. Like, I think they're okay, but yeah, it was good.
I have the same standpoints as Pat the NES Punk. It was like, it just felt weird, especially the part where they brought, you know, the makers of King's Quest. You have Sierra. They brought them out.
I forget her name. His wife's name.
Yeah.
I think it's called.
They brought them out like on stage, and it was like, oh, we're so happy to like announce the King's Quest. What was it, like a remaster or was it King's Quest 8?
They received an award, and they got together with an indie developer to create a brand new King's Quest game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Pat said something like, "Is it
is
it really them getting an award, or
it's just PR?" Oh, you've dropped on. Hang on. You've got such a handsome. Oh, there you go. Camera froze. Such a handsome pose. Oh, it's froze again. Is he there?
You're the best looking guy here.
Yeah, you're the best looking guy. I'm gonna like dub that over his thing in the editing. Oh, he's moving loads. Oh, he's still dropped. This is tough.
No.
Well, yeah, I'll just.
Many people on the internet.
Well, he sorts it out. But yeah, they brought them out, and it was like, hey, how's your achievements? Oh, by the way, we're doing a new... I can't... His face. Dan's face froze. He's like, oh, what was I saying? So they brought them out, it was like, oh, here's your achievements or whatever. Oh, and we're going to announce that we've been working with an indie developer to bring you a new King's Quest game. And it's like, oh, shit, like a new King's Quest game, that's awesome. And then, like, they just pushed them to, like, one side, and then and he was like, hey, Jim from this game, we're gonna bring you King's Quest, here's loads of game footage. And then like they were just stood, like, and they're getting on, like they're not like really old, but they're getting on, and they just stood in the background with their award just awkwardly while they show footage of the game. And it's just like, I kind of feel like if you weren't planning on remaking the game, would they have still won the achievement? Like, no, I don't think so. It was definitely just PR.
Dan's back?
Your sound's back, but you're a buffering bar at the minute.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
There we go.
Back.
Hey.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on here.
I was just saying about like when they were done, and like
I could hear you, like.
Could you hear me? And it's like they were just stood there awkwardly while he was like, "Hey, this is the new King's Quest game." It's like maybe they stood in the background like, "This is our franchise." Like, we stood there awkwardly.
This is our franchise.
But that was a wild show. But if you didn't watch it, I'm sure you can find the video of it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Someone probably archived it. Definitely, probably. Oxymoron.
For sure.
Should we start wrapping it up? 2 hours in. I think 2 hours. 2 hours is a decent length. Quite long, like for a podcast.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I feel like we've got a nice balance. It's like an hour per thing. We've got like the introductory hour, and then we just talk about news. But we can make it a regular thing and get it uploaded on time.
Of course.
Yepers.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, you're doing all the editing, so that's it. I guess it's fine.
I'll do it now. Get it up. Maybe Sunday's a good release day then. If we record Saturday, upload Sunday.
Yeah, of course.
Because then it's like start of a new week. We get new news, whatever.
Kind of need to get them out though, otherwise.
I know it's gonna be
outdated. The news.
I've definitely been lazy the last week with the last one, so.
Well, you've got uni as well, so.
Yeah, well, I've done now for the summer, so like definitely be a lot more content and stuff. A lot more convince me's to come, right, Richard?
Yeah, of course.
So
more which?
We're just working out a content base at the minute, really, because we're trying to not be deluded by fame or whatever and popularity. We're just trying to get a content base out the minute. We're still working out shows, feel like
Yeah.
the podcast's good. We got Convince Me. It's a good one. But yeah,
Convince
we're
Me,
just working
that's
on
good.
content, like.
I'd like to see your reaction, like if say you're trying to convince Richard on a game, like on the next one, I'd like to see like Richard playing the game for the first time with you, like
I think that
trying to adapt.
I think. I mean, the last episode of Convince Me was really good, but just audio. I think we need to integrate.
Well, there was
video
gameplay as well.
Some sort of video. Yeah, yeah,
Like
audio,
video-
but
like
it's
video
like
of
it was,
us.
yeah.
I kind of
Like
feel
I
like
think
putting,
like
putting
it would have
Rich-
been better if Paul was playing.
Yeah,
It was like
but,
Paul footage playing. And
That's definitely
talking
and
as well.
better. Like, it was good, but we can definitely step it up. Step it
Yeah,
up.
for sure.
Was that Sonic? Step it up. No, it's not. Who is it?
Is it? Oh.
Xenoblade.
Step it. No, Xenoblade. Oh my god.
I'm
You're really,
feeling
you're really getting into this, Ryan. Don't lose our heads, though. I'm gonna have to put like that clip in now. I'm gonna put that clip into the American Idol game as well. The tears that I've cried, I have spent all of my life. I'm gonna put that as like the edit, like, as we're going out. I'll put it on the thing. That's funny, but yeah. Should we sign off?
Yeah.
Okie doke.
Yeah. Actually, should we oh, we've only got one new follower. What was his name? I forgot his name already. Bad.
Wasn't it like
Something with a
Gong?
G.
No,
Minge.
Minge.
Freaks.
I think it was Ming actually, wasn't it? Yeah. Ming Goose Boy.
Min is
Ming
Goose
Goose Boy 101 is now following. Thanks for following, bro.
Shout out.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah,
If you're
thank
watching this on YouTube, go over to twitch.tv/Paul1094. Follow us on Twitch, follow us on YouTube, subscribe, do all that shit because we really appreciate it. Like, you guys, like, I'm talking to you now. Like, the first few followers are always the most important. Like,
Jesus
the
Christ.
first few followers are always the most important because that's when you establish that you're producing content for someone. Because without the followers, you're not doing it for anyone. Without the teachers, without the students, there's no teachers.
Life lessons.
So there you go.
Oh my god.
It's like Ming Goose Boy just watching this like stone and like, whoa,
Yeah, with
man,
his noodle, like a noodles or something. Like
I'm a student, man. You're the teacher. You know it. God.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Jesus Christ.
So
Anyway,
successful second episode. You did well.
I think so.
You
Yeah.
want to say bye?
That's good. Yeah. Sign off.
Mm-hmm.
Should we all sign off?
At the
And
same
then
time.
we do an outro
We need
song?
like a simultaneous sign off. Should we all just stand up and salute? Actually, I don't think
Like
we can
what
stand up.
the Attack on Titan salute?
What's the Attack on Titan salute?
Something like that. Oh, if yeah, you're right. Your right arm to your left.
Just
your
do it
heart.
like that, and then like I'll just play the Attack on Titan theme, just freeze frame.
Da, 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 da.
Nah, this is I don't know. It's so hard to like. What
Well,
were the
my
other
name's
things?
Mr. Ho. Thank you for watching.
I'm Gunfinger.
Who's that?
Gunfinger. I need such a better name.
Oh, have you just realized?
No, I mean,
realized Gunfinger?
it's good. It's a good streaming name, but like in a group of us, like it's just so weird saying I'm Gunfinger. Like, just call
Yeah,
me.
like
You can call
Gunfinger
me
Guns.
Paul. You can call me Paul.
Got me. Pistol.
Please call me Gun. Mr. Finger was my father. Yeah, Paul1094 signing off.
Railsy93. Peace out.
Mr. Ho.
Gotta
Ta-ra.
sign off, buddy. You gotta do it.
I just said ta-ra, jackass.
So, guys, thank you.